think Jody's in it for.
She's already signed it.
All right, then we're done.
That's the story before. Was there a story? Just a picture.
All right, I think since we will call this meeting, we're going to start the pledge of allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, recording of the roll, please.
All present except for Mayor Corcoran, who has asked to be excused.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to excuse the mayor.
Second. All right, motion by Commissioner Semo, second by Commissioner Tower to excuse Mayor Corcoran. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. All in favor, nay. Approval of the consent agenda.
No change? I'll make the motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
I'll second.
Okay, motion by Commissioner Towers, second by Commissioner Semo to approve the consent agenda. All in favor, or roll call, please.
Care,
Yes.
Semo,
Yes.
Sim,
Yes.
Tower.
Yes.
Okay, approval of the agenda. Are there any changes?
No change.
I'll make a motion we approve the agenda.
Second.
Okay, motion by Commissioner Semo, second by Commissioner Tower to approve tonight's agenda. All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, motion passed. All right, citizens wishing to address the items on the agenda.
Yes, good evening. Paul Burbowski here. It's item J, discuss and consider approving the final ballot language for street village approval. Raising taxes is disgusting. It is flat disgusting. You're going to go after these people that are making $1,000 a month on Social Security and you can ask them for more money? Why can't you pay for this street approval? You can. You found $80,000 for the comprehensive plan. You found that. You get cut in it, like I said, you get cut in this building. I think it went,
She's just cutting out the feedback. That's
yeah,
all.
thank you. I have a problem with Jason Allen and his blight officer. I was complaining about this house on the 1200 block of Celia for 2 years. He did nothing about it until it was sold. Then it's cleaned up, it's looking good. Second one, Bob Marine and Dennis the mailman complaining about this gentry of Celia and Zinn. It's right across the street from that blue house. They've been complaining about that for 10 years and nothing's been done. The yard grass isn't cut, it's a pigsty, junk all over the place. The third one, 1225 East Leonard, I was complaining about that too. But this is gonna cost me and my wife probably $20,000 to $25,000. We're gonna plan on buying this house from the guy that owns that house, it's a rental house, and we're gonna get rid of it. We complained about the tenants in there, he did nothing about it. The last one never cut the grass, maybe 2 or 3 times a year, because the landowner did it. And he had big dogs, never cleaned up after his dogs. And I feel sorry for these people on Ridge Street over by the old Catholic school. That's where those people are living now. So there'd be complaints about them too. And community development. Our city manager is the one that should write these grants. We do not need a special department to write grants. We need to be more specific, more careful with grants. We don't need all these grants for these parks and trails. Our city manager should write grants for the street infrastructure and that. And if our city manager cannot write these grants, we should find somebody else that can write these grants for a city manager. And salaries. It's disgusting what our city manager's making. He's making close to $90,000 a year.
Okay, so I understand your point. I guess we understand where you're going with this. So just summarize, please.
Summarize it, $90,000 a year. City manager Marquette is over 100. Darren Pionic for the county, 75 grand. State legislator, Scott Diana, he gave one of those guys, they're at 72. Our city manager needs to take a pay cut of about $30,000. You can pay for this project. You do not have to take money from the taxpayer. I know that memorial building project is done, that's good. Give back the money to the taxpayer from the city of Ironwood. The taxpayer does not have the money to pay for this stuff. That's all I'm getting at.
Okay, your point is noted, and we will consider that in the future when the time comes to discuss such things.
Well, it's wrong raising taxes.
Okay.
When we can cut in this building.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Okay, we'll move on to item F. Items not on the agenda.
Good evening, City Commissioners. My name is John Rudberg. I live at 218 North Lowell Street, Ironwood, Michigan. I'd like to speak to the recent approval that you Commissioners gave for the conceptual expansion of the Little League Park here in Ironwood. I believe it's a waste of valuable staff time and potentially a waste of taxpayers' money. I think we would all be hard pressed to find the demand and the need based on the city's demographics for a second baseball field. If the issue is additional parking for the current baseball field, there is ample room behind left field that could be created for additional parking. So I think this is a project that should not go forward as the conceptual plan is outlined. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Yeah, my name's Bill Erickson. I live at 713 East Air Street. The only question I have is on the burnt down church on Air Street, roughly between Curry and Marquette. The street sign at that block is gone, so I don't know that street's name. When's that going to finally be cleaned up?
Status of that, again, they're cleaning it up privately through their insurance, and we're understanding it should be the next week or so, is what we've been told.
So it's under private domain
Right.
at this point?
Well, within the next few weeks, we should be seeing what we have to take place.
Yeah, I would like to see that hurry up, so thank you.
All right, anybody else? Thank you. We'll be moving on to item G.
I'm sorry, David.
That's okay.
Yes, Walter Bossich again. Another problem I got is with all these slumlords around town. They're bringing in all this riffraff. All they're worried about is this Mishta money. Give me the Mishta money. Give me the Mishta money. You have to make it difficult for these people. You have to make it so they're more conscientious on who they rent to, instead of just give me the Mishta money, give me the Mishta money. The cops are, I mean, you know, everybody knows, cops are at these places all the time. And it's just a thought, with these late delinquent taxes and water bills that they have, maybe everyone should have a license. Every one of these rental places have a license. And they put a $1,000 bond up, and that goes in escrow. And that can't be touched until they get delinquent on taxes or they get delinquent on the water bills. And this comes out. And then they're paid. That amount goes down to zero, they can't rent anymore. I mean, another thing is $50 a month, $25 a month for every rental unit that the city collects, and you can put that in parks and recreation. I mean, it's the blight that's in these places. Some of them do have some very good people, but we had nasty ones. Last three rentals next door. A drug dealer, somebody had fallen the knobs on his wife's head, and this piece of garbage that was over there next time, that couldn't cut the grass, and we're sick of it. The people are sick with these slumlords. The drugs are there, the police department's there all the time, and something has to be done with this. This town has to be cleaned up.
I understand that. I think this is, I think there's a larger sort of issue issue with that. I mean, Mishta is part of the issue. I'm not 100% sure that the city can sort of prevent those kinds of things from happening. It's something we can look at.
Maybe make it, I'm just saying, make it difficult, so if they get money taken out of their back pocket, the person that owns these houses, hey, I'm making a little bit more responsible the way I rent to them. Instead of being all this riffraff up here.
I understand. I don't think that we want to make it difficult for people to live here, though.
If that's what they're bringing in, you don't want those people up here. I don't want them up here.
Fair enough. Fair
I mean,
enough.
it'd be a lot easier for the police department, it'd be a lot easier for the city.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? All right. Item G. Ms. Kangas.
Hello, I'm Roberta Kangas. I'm the Executive Director of the Ironwood Housing Commission. For those of you who don't know, the Ironwood Housing Commission consists of 147 units. We have 79, we have 113 units in Pioneer Park and Pioneer Park Annex, and we have 34 family units throughout the city. It consists of 2, 3, and 4 bedroom units. I've written an annual report that I've given to you all. It would tell you where our housing is, for those of you who may not know. Pioneer Park and Pioneer Park Annex, we rent to primarily elderly and disabled, although we do take tenants who apply if we have room to do it. This year, we have 4 employees, myself, my assistant, and 2 maintenance men. We have plans to do some outside work with our capital fund money. The only funding we get is from the Housing and Urban Development. We do not get any funding from the city. We pay payment in lieu of taxes to the city, and I believe this year our payment is roughly $25,700 some dollars that we will be paying to the city. Do you have any questions about anything? I've written this a lot in the report, but if there would be any questions anyone have?
How would you describe the financial health of the Ironwood Housing Commission?
I think it's good. We have a reserve of about $475,000. We ended this year with a $69,000 profit. We've made, last year we put in a new boiler, re-roofing of the houses. Our houses need some work. They were built in 1973. So there's some upkeep on them, but all in all, they're in very good shape. We had an inspector come from Washington about 3 years ago, and he was impressed because he said the houses that he looked at, he could not tell what was public housing and what was, conventional housing. Which is a good thing when you talk about public housing.
Do you feel that we have enough public housing to meet demand?
Yes and no. That's a yes and no question. We have had, this year we had 36 vacancies, but it turned over. As of December 31st, we were full. We had 100% occupancy. Right now we're at 97%. There are a lot of applications out there, but there are a lot of applications that don't meet the criteria that we need to have in our housing.
So you're not any kind of waiting list?
We do have waiting lists for every unit.
Mm-hmm.
1 bedrooms. All the units at Pioneer Park are 1 bedroom. And we do have a waiting list for 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Got a big waiting list, a couple people?
No, we've got, I think I've got 4 on the 4-bedroom, 3 or 4 on the 3, 19 on the 2-bedroom, and right now I think about 10 on the 1-bedroom. But I don't do a background check until the names come to the top of the waiting list, because it can get really pricey. So, watch it.
What, so, do you have like a long-term plan for rehabilitating these older houses?
We have to do a 5-year plan every year,
Okay,
and we are due for the 5-year plan in 2015.
okay,
And we've done a lot of work on them, but some of the work that needs to be done would be windows and roofing, you know, your bigger cost items.
anything else? All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
All right, item number H, get started.
Hi, I'm Jen Starkey. I'm the manager at Staff Fitness, and I'm in the process of organizing the second annual Only Rules Run at Midnight. And I guess I'm just here to ask you guys for approval to use the building rent free for October 25th for Only Rules Run at Midnight.
Last year, the event went very well. It was very well attended, very well organized and managed. And it's nice to have those kind of events in the community. Brings, it's for our residents, but it also brings a lot of people to the area to participate in these also.
We had 160 registered runners last year, and I had over 40 volunteers that came and helped out as well. So it was very successful.
So distance.
Certainly sounds like it was an excellent event.
Pardon?
It was an excellent event for everything that I heard. Thank you for doing that.
Thank you.
How much do you charge to rent it?
If we were renting the,
125 for a nonprofit.
Well, all right, I will make a motion that we waive the fee for the Blue Run Midnight Run.
I'll second.
All right, second by Commissioner Sim, or motion by Commissioner Sim, second by Commissioner Sino to waive the fee. Roll call, please.
Thank you. Simo.
Yes.
Tower.
Yes.
Care.
Yes.
Sim.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so that would turn us to item J. Discuss and consider approving the final ballot language for the street mill.
and as the commission will recall, you actually did approve this prior, at a previous meeting. We fine-tuned the language, essentially showing what the millage, estimated millage would be for each year, and that's $175,000. So that was clarified in this language, and with your approval, we move that forward to putting it on the ballot. So the general public would have an opportunity to weigh in, either support it or not, and see what the residents, in the city of Ireland want to do. Do they want to see some more streets done, or not? I guess would be the question.
I'll make a motion, we approve the language as presented in our package.
Second.
All right, a motion by Commissioner Simo, a second by Commissioner Tower to approve this ballot language for the street millage. Any other further discussion? All right, I am going to talk for a moment. I have worked in the past to deny this. I'm still not comfortable with the street millage, but knowing that it was voted to kind of move forward last time, I will turn it over to the voters, so we will go from there. So now we'll take a roll call.
Tower.
Yes.
Care.
Yes.
Simo.
Yes.
Sim.
Yes.
And just to add, this is, as it's stated here, a 10-year, proposed to be a 10-year millage if it is supported. And we're going to clarify the dates, 2015 to 25. Just talking here to city attorney, we just want to make sure that's a 10-year increment, just for your clarifications. We'll take a look at that.
Okay. So that will move us to item K, discuss and consider authorizing bids for DPW equipment.
Thank you. You got it, Bob?
Gotcha.
We're requesting your authorization to purchase 2 loaders and a sand salt truck. Our sand salt truck has seen its better years, and this one will have a decent belly scraper on it, and that'll help them out and help us out from having our people come in and plow immediately to be able to push the slush and everything and put the sand salt down. The 2 loaders is, we're trying to eliminate two-man trucks. This will free up 2 people during the year to work on main breaks, other problems in utilities in the DPW area. So we're asking you to authorize that also. And that's the main reason for these loaders at this point.
Do we have the money?
We do, yes.
And we've talked our equipment fund pretty good.
The equipment fund is actually very healthy. Unfortunately, with the winter we had last year, the equipment fund actually makes money. We charge that back to the water fund and sewer fund as they're doing repair work. So your equipment fund right now has a balance of close to $1 million in it. So you have a pretty healthy equipment fund. You do want to have a fund balance in there, but even with these purchases, you have a healthy fund to work with on other equipment purchases in the future. So we're kind of in a unique situation with all the effort that went last winter into repairing mains and that type of thing. It does make the equipment fund go that way.
Amazing. So how much do you expect these 3 items to cost? And I understand they haven't gone for bid yet, but.
Let's see if I wish I would run my figures along. I believe it would be an approximate of about $490 to $540.
For all 3?
Yes. But I'll be coming back pretty soon if we have a little bit too much money to ask in other favor.
Denied.
So what DPW does, just for your information, they do a 5-year plan for their equipment. So they have a 5-year plan laid out, what they need each year, and anticipating roughly 1 piece of equipment every year or every other year. This is kind of a unique opportunity with the equipment fund to get a couple more pieces of equipment sooner than we would expect.
It would be nice to get rid of 2 men tall crews.
Absolutely. And these loaders would be like the one we have at present. They're called the Houghton loaders with their wings, and Houghton has as many hills as we do, so we should be able to adjust these rigs to our hills also.
So this will get rid of the 2-man crews?
Yes, we'll have 2 men freed up to allow to work on other things, and everybody knows what happens in the winter, and so it should be helpful to us.
I'll make a motion to authorize bids for the DPW equipment as described. Item K.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Tower, second by Commissioner Kager to authorize bids for the DPW equipment. All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, thank you. Item L, discuss and consider approving resolution 01427, amending the MDOT agreement.
Again, this is the MDOT agreement for US 2. You previously did approve an agreement and entered into an agreement with the DOT. What this one does, it amends it to include the sidewalk that you have authorized to go on the south side of US 2 between Curry and Greenbush in that McDonald's area. So this amends that agreement to include that and shows that it is a city expense, which it is. And that's estimated at $16,000 for that piece of sidewalk.
I'll make a motion, we approve the resolution described in item L.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Semo, second by Commissioner Tower to approve resolution 014027. Roll call, please.
Will you add to that motion to authorize the mayor?
And authorize the mayor pro tem to sign all. Mayor. Okay. And I will amend my motion to include authorize the mayor to sign all applicable documents. And city clerk?
So good. All right.
Just mayor.
I do not have those powers. Signature.
Well, you do
Not
it.
bad.
The documents I'll say in
Roll
there.
call, please.
They already said it, yeah. Rose, Mayor,
Yes.
Seymour,
Yes.
Tower,
Yes.
Sim.
Yes. Item M, discuss and consider increasing the election inspector's wage.
Sure. This is my item. Since I've been here, they have not had any increase in their wages. And looking at other communities, it's a long day. I don't let them leave. They have to stay here the whole day. I think $140 for the day is fair. And sometimes it'd be over. So the $10 an hour for the election workers is in line with everyone else, I believe. And they probably won't get another raise for another 15 years.
And it is in the budget too.
And it is budgeted, yes, it is.
They do a good job, so I will I will authorize increasing the election inspector's wage.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Tower, second by Commissioner Kayer to increase the election inspector's wage. Roll call, please.
Simo,
Yes.
Sim,
Yes.
Howard,
Yes.
Dare.
Yes.
All right, an update on the blighted property on 614 Lake Street.
Commissioners have asked for the 614 Lake Street to be brought back to you a month after the public hearing. We have a PowerPoint, Karen, she brought it up.
Yes, have it.
Just shows some before and after pictures. I met with Mr. Porter a few times during the process, and he has taken care of everything on our list from the public hearing. So you can see some before and after pictures of the property. Rear yard on the left, and then on the right, that's how it currently is. Front porch, when we started here in May till now. Vehicle gone off the side yard. That rear yard is cleaned out, he also took down the fence, so it looks like a total transformation over there. And I know he's mentioned he's happy it got done and it took him longer than he expected, but trailer's gone, motorcycles are gone, so he's complied with everything that we've asked him to do.
The process is doing what it's supposed to do.
Actually, this is a real success story, and again, the homeowner stepped up, and they cleaned the property, and it's much appreciated. And we haven't had to use city resources to clean that property up. Again, like Jason said, the property owner is pleased with the results also.
Any questions?
What this property like? Mr. Farner's property, is anything going on there?
I haven't seen much progress there. I know I talked to Mr. Richards today about our action plan, because you guys didn't give it until August 15th, so we're gonna work out the plan and be prepared. That's it.
Thank you, sorry, I can release you now.
Thanks.
Item O, discuss and consider lease agreement with Michigan DNR for the Michigan Western Gateway Trail.
Thank you. This is for the first leg of the Gateway Trail through the city of Ironwood. The DNR did acquire and does own the northerly grade going through town. So with this lease agreement, it'd be between the Michigan DNR and the city of Ironwood, and authorize us to be able to construct the trail within that right-of-way area. It's a 20-year lease. It's a standard lease agreement that they have for these types of situations.
I'll make a motion to approve the lease agreement as described in item O.
Motion by Commissioner Semo, second by Commissioner Tower for the mayor to sign the lease agreement for the Michigan DNR, the Michigan Western Gateway Trail. Any further discussion? All right, roll call please.
Howard,
Yes.
Dare,
Yes.
Simo,
Yes.
Sim.
Yes. Item P, manager's report.
Just a forward update on a lot of projects, things that are going on around town. As you're probably tracking, the US2 project is moving along. Snow Country Contracting has essentially completed the sanitary sewer main along the south side of the roadway, and they are now rebuilding that street. They'll be curbing it, paving it, so they can switch traffic over to that, and then they'll begin the reconstruction of that northerly lane. There's some stuff about that, they're not going to do that northerly lane, which is incorrect. That section is planned to be done yet this year. So that next year they can work on the easterly half that has to be done next year. That's from Curry Street over to the Kmart Plaza area. But right now they are moving forward, and all intentions are to have that completed this year. This past Sunday we did have our federal senator Debbie Stabenow in town. It was nice to have her here in the community. Had a nice meet and greet with a lot of the public. That Kate asked her to ask her questions, and just one-on-one type of interaction with her, which is really nice to see. It's always amazing to see someone at our federal level that they're working on community and have a dialogue with us, and we're able to communicate with them and build that relationship. So it's really nice that she was here, and it's always nice when others attend. Earlier in the week, we had our state senator and 3 representatives at the college also. So it's really nice, again, when they're here, we can talk to them about our particular issues and also continue to develop those relationships with them. City Commission is tentatively, I think this has to be finalized yet, but it's looking at a workshop for Monday, August 25th, if it works for your schedules, to continue the discussion of the comprehensive plan. And again, you'll see Michael, he carries around the comprehensive plan from everywhere. This is not a document that's going to sit on the shelf and collect dust. So this first workshop will be with the commission to basically go through the process on how we're going to implement that and the steps that Michael and the other boards are taking to make sure that that's right up on our radar screen. Also get the city commission input and your involvement with the implementation of that plan. City received notice recently that we have officially been awarded a grant for Longyear Park in the amount of $30,000. It's through the National Park Service Land and Water Conservation grant funding. Again, it's for park improvements down in Longyear Park for some equipment and access improvements for that park. So again, that's something that we'll be working on over this winter and then looking at a project for 2015. Our other large project is a contract we have with Bristol Construction, that neighborhood north of US 2 and east of Lake Road. They're moving along very well over there with their water and sewer improvements. They are working on, as they're doing their water and sewer improvements, regrading and building the streets, so you see more street activity over there. It's difficult for the residents, obviously, getting in and out during these projects, but they are coming behind and getting that street work done. So within the next few weeks, you'll see more street activity. The streets getting graded and hopefully paving within a few weeks. They'll come in multiple times, 2 or 3 times during the project to actually get the street, the first lift on the streets paved, and not wait for the whole project to be complete. So I'm sure the residents will appreciate that because they're through some difficult, conditions over there. City staff, we have put together the project specifications for our local street paving project for this year. Again, it's a mill or pulverized overlay. That is out on the street for bidding. It's out to the contractors. We'll be opening bids on August 15th for that and bring that back to the City Commission at the last meeting in August. And hopefully we'll get good competitive bids and we can get, again, some additional local streets paved this year. We also put out for bids the crack seal project for the city. This is going on existing streets. Essentially, ones that have been paved in the last 10 years, we start developing these hairline cracks, water gets into them, it freezes and breaks up the streets. So this is a preventative maintenance program to go in and basically seal these cracks before that can happen. So you're basically extending the life of the investment that you have made over the last 10 years. The plans and specs for the Gateway Trail project that we were just discussing have been completed. They've been submitted to the DNR for review, and we're hopeful in the next week or so we'll get a response back from them so we can go out and bid that project yet this year and start that construction this fall. As City Commission probably did see with the deep freeze that we had, all the problems that we had last winter with frozen water mains, broken pipes, a lot of expenses in the city. That was submitted through the county to the state. The state has reviewed that. They've indicated that statewide we did not trigger the threshold to kick it up to the FEMA level. There's still some discussion on that. I don't know where that's going to go. It doesn't look too promising. I don't know, get beyond where it's at now. But we are working on the state level. Our state legislators did approve up to $6 million of funding statewide for the communities that have had these problems. And being that we've declared, the county's declared, a disaster at the county level, we're able to apply for some of these funds. Again, that's up to $1 million per community. I'm guessing they don't. There's more communities than there are dollars available, but we'll be making an application for some of those funds to help offset some of our expenses that we incurred last winter. City staff has also put together the demolition specifications for the property at 227 East Aurora Street. That's the building right next to the library. And we are out for bids for that, so we'll be bringing bids back to the City Commission in the last meeting in August. We'll be opening bids on August 19th. So hopefully we'll be getting some good competitive bids for that work. We're also working with the group, the Safe Routes to School group. That grant has been awarded to the city. You'll see some paperwork coming your way. It's an MDOT grant in the amount of $386,000. So again, staff and the Safe Routes volunteer group essentially that made this happen. We'll be getting together and start working on the design parameters to get that project put together to bid for next year's construction. And last but not least, city clerk has been busy. They have elections tomorrow, so we're going to be aware of that. If you're not aware of it, they call and vote. And that's the end of my report.
All right. Thank you. Other matters?
Couple of things I want to ask about. The MDOT project, is that closer to being on schedule? Is the contractor gaining ground, losing ground? What's happening?
Each week we meet with the contractor and the staff to look at schedules. They've been behind a few weeks on their schedule. I think everybody's acknowledged that. And the contractor essentially working with MDOT are looking at different ways to get back on schedule. And yet they do have a completion date they have to meet this fall. There are penalties if they don't. So again, I think the contractor is doing everything they need to do to get it back on schedule, whether that's adding crews, whatever it might be, they feel is necessary to keep things on track. So again, I think they're still out a few weeks from what the projected schedule would be, but still anticipate they're going to get everything done yet this fall by the completion date.
What is the completion date?
I knew you were going to ask that. I don't recall right offhand. I'll have to get that.
It's the
You know, like
14th or 17th of October, I forget which.
Okay.
So when do they expect that this flip is going to happen from the north to the south side, or south to the north side?
Have you heard timing is a couple weeks out yet? Because they have to do some more curbing, paving. They still have plenty of work to do before they can flip traffic over. And
The contractor's schedule is perhaps a little more optimistic than others, but probably in the next 10 days or so.
yes, assuming that weather cooperates, which right now looks promising. And they still have a lot of work to do to be able to flip that traffic over. And then they can start working on that northern lane. And to put it in perspective, they have one lane essentially to tear out. They'll be putting water main under that lane, which is a lot easier than sanitary sewer. It should go a lot quicker. And the width of the street, essentially, they've done 2/3. Is that
Well, 5/8 might be a better.
5/8?
Yeah, it's not,
not quite 2/3? Okay.
and they'll pave from the actual center line over, so they still have over half the pavement to the center.
Okay.
But at least the sand and gravel will be, if you will, north of the center line, and they're done with this half.
So I know this is an MDOT thing, but like, how does that flip go? I mean, does it just all of a sudden change overnight, or, I mean, that seems like a really big deal to change traffic patterns.
It's surprisingly easy to leave the barrels in place, and you simply switch the arrows and the cones on each end, and then over the course of the next few hours, you get the barrels moved to the other side of the road.
Okay, but traffic will go through North Ironwood now, or is
So
it?
the details stay as it is right now.
Okay,
So there'll be no difference there. It's just the westbound traffic will just move to the new paved area.
gotcha.
You'll drive on the wrong side of the road if you will.
Fair enough.
I have one other question. The Gateway Trail bid specs, have those come back from the DNR yet? Have we got that?
Yeah, they've been submitted to them for their review. We haven't gotten back their review yet. And they're also waiting. They need the, what you approved tonight, the lease agreement, so that's part of their review. They'll get back to us. So they said it would take about 2 weeks or so for them to review it. And we're right at that 2-week period. So hopefully in the next few days or a week or so, we'll get it back.
And actually, one more question. The Phase 3 sewer and water project, is that on schedule?
That is, yeah, they're right there, like, on schedule. We look at it every week with them, and they set their schedule and where they're at. They're pretty much where they need to be.
Correct, based on their original schedule, they're plus or minus about a day. They're doing well.
And what is their completion date?
November 14th.
But there's interim completion dates, again, just to be clear. On that project, for that date, they have to have the first lift of asphalt on.
Yes.
And Then next year, they'll come back in with the final lift on it. That way, if there's any settlements, they can take care of that next spring. Plus, there's another component to the project over in Norrie. There's a few blocks over there that we still need to put some water and sewer in. And that's, they've been kind of holding those in reserve to make sure everything goes well on this first phase, which so far it is. So next year, we'll see some more work occurring into this project. Final paving of the area we're working on, and hopefully a few more blocks over in the Norrie.
What, 12 blocks in Norway?
Oh, quite a few blocks, yeah, more than just a few. Thanks.
Anything else?
When, we plan on paving these utility patches around town,
Utility patches,
same time as the road paving.
yes, that's built into our local paving projects. We're taking that out with this project. Again, DPW is doing some of the smaller patches, so you'll see them around taking care of some of the smaller ones. But the larger ones would be a paver and more equipment. That'll be with the local paving project.
Great, anything else? All right, with that, we'll move to adjournment.
Also move.
Motion by Commissioner Steele, second by Commissioner Tower to adjourn. All in favor, please say aye. Yes, all right, and we are adjourned.
Every good trail.